You're going to give out a couple of cards.
You know, Sophie Molyneux's mum.
Sophie Molyneux.
Pick it up from men's stuff.
Hello, Grandma.
She's just a tiny bit. She might as well. I'm like my mum. All right, we might start then.
feel like I need to be a school teacher and say, children, be quiet please. Just absolutely magnificent. The vibe in the room, Dawn, you're not far away. We're not pretending our hearts aren't broken, but just the fun. It's an atmosphere of fun and warmth and love. Just by the chat, just by the catching up, it's amazing. Now, I was going to have the great-grandchildren of Cornish come forward during the song. The song, by the way, is Tammy. Come on, who wants to go first? The eldest? Brie Ellen, please, come on up. You can all come up together, actually, just stand together, I think. We've got lots of things to put with Grandma. Take your time, we're certainly not going to rush. Brie Ellen and Tate and Zane and Caden. Annabelle, where are you? Are you too little? No, no. Well done, kids. Very, very well done. And let the tears flow, because your grandma is something very, very special. To the people on the live stream, please, you are with us here as much as if you were sitting in the seats, and we welcome you. And finally, good afternoon to you all. Welcome and thank you for being here. We gather today to mourn the passing of Dawn Cornish. Her absolutely correct name is Annie Dawn, but known to us all as Dawn. We gather to say our final farewells, and we gather to pay tribute to Dawn's long life at 92 years. And yes, yep, it is a long life. It is a long life. But that life is Dawn. Mum, grandma, great-grandmother, sister, friend. We all know that Dawn had an energetic spirit, a love of, a zest for life. And this makes it all the more difficult to accept her passing. As time passes, we will come to accept Dawn having left us. But at the moment, our hearts are broken, and the pain and grief we're feeling is strong. For all of you, Bruce and Anne, Ian and Kathy, and Alan and Karen, and Rowan, and Megan, and Amanda, and Michael, and Eleanor, and Catherine. And as I said, I like to say these names again, Brie Ellen, especially yours, because you were born on Grandpa's birthday. Brie Ellen, Tate, and Zane, and Caden, and Annabelle. And when I mention these names, I asked Bruce and Ian the other day what made Mum smile. Instantly, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. You had an amazing woman in your life. Dawn Cornish was a party girl. She loved being social. I had this earlier, but I want to say it now. Someone who was here this afternoon suggested that Dawn was effervescent. Hey, it's like a bubble that continues, an effervescence to her life, to her spirit. And someone else said that she enjoyed a drink. I'm going to mention some names later on, but she also enjoyed a Kit Kat, ladies and gentlemen, which is Dawn's secret word for smoke. Oh, for heaven's sake. Let's go back. She loved animals. Ian piped up the other day and said, yep, our goats, our dogs, our chickens, Kelpie, Jasper the Kelpie. Well, Dawn was great mates with Jasper, and they'd sit on the deck together and they'd reflect, and Rosellas had come in and King Parrots had come in. Just Even just close your eyes, just look up for a second and see the image. It's beautiful. A rosy would land on the table in front of Dawn. She called it Penny, and she was able to feed it by hand. Yeah, I did say she enjoyed a smoke, didn't I? The doctors didn't know about it. They didn't know about it. Holiday Sun Gold 20s. That was her cigarette of choice. And she hated the photos on smoke packets. They are gross for an absolute reason, Dawn. She'd take the cellophane off the top, because they're only 20, so only little ones, and slip in nice cute photos of animals instead. Didn't stop her. And on the farm, Mafra West on the farm, when the calves were born, or the chooks, or the sheep, or the cows, they all got named. And it is a family legend of the Cornish family. Who are we eating tonight? Oh. You know, we are being light and bright, and I'm 100% convinced that's how Dawn would want it. It's how all you folks want it too. As I said earlier, the vibe in the room. Just the other day, it was only Saturday, Dawn said to the family, I've still got a lot of living to do. I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. I am never going into a nursing home. I've got at least another 5 years. Well, we don't have any say in the matter really, but gosh, it's a strength, isn't it? It's a strength. As I said earlier, I refer back to effervescence and a zest for life. Now, Dawn developed macular degeneration 8 or 9 years ago, and she gradually went blind. She was going blind. She kept a little bit of eyesight. And when the telly was on, she'd remark, I'm watching it for the noise, just a bit of background noise, because the screen would have been a blur, I'm thinking. She was a really good cook, your grandma. Well, meat and 3 veggies. And the boys said that they loved Mum's roast, but Dawn's boiled fruitcake. She actually made one a couple of weeks ago. All mixed by hand, none of your kitchen aids, kitchen maids here, all done by hand. You can feel it. And I'm thinking we can almost taste it too, a boiled fruitcake, yum. Now that's just the beginning of our tribute to this lady, this beautiful woman. But Ian, you're going to come up and say a thank you, and welcome to people. Yeah, come on. You want to come up too, Kat? No?
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming. Just to be here to celebrate Mum's wonderful life. I'm Ian, her second born, her favourite son. well, I think I am. She always referred to us as my 3 boys or my 3 sons, if she's ever talking to anyone. She was a very proud mother, and yeah, us 3 boys did never say anything bad about her. She was also a very great grandmother and a grandmother to, as Peter mentioned, all the kids. Yeah, each of us was just so lucky to have her, to be loved by her, and yeah, it was just an amazing life she had. I have so many hilarious memories of Mum, and the one that probably comes to mind the most is the time when she tried to get a driver's licence. It took her 10 goes. Which is pretty, I reckon it must be a record. But yeah, she was very determined and never gave up, and yeah, just finally got a licence on her 10th go. And it wasn't long after that that us 3 boys talked him and taken us for a drive. Anyway, we come to our first major intersection, and Mum stalled the car. The 3 of us ducked down behind the seats and just kept yelling at Mum, get us out of here. We were so embarrassed. And yeah, after a while we kept yelling, get the car started, let's get out of here. Mum just, as she did, she told us to shut up, and if we didn't shut up, she was going to just step out of the car and walk away and leave us there. So we all kept quiet. She finally got the car started and drove off, which was good. But another one was that when, a few years later, Dad bought us a motor scooter to take down to the beach house so we could ride down to the beach, an old Vespa. Anyway, we had it in the backyard, and us boys all had a bit of a ride on it, and Mum always wanted to have a go at everything, so she jumped on it and we sort of told her how to drive off slowly. Anyway, she put it in the gear, she fell back with a hand on the throttle and just twisted it right around and took off, and she just sort of zigzagged up the backyard until she ran into the back of the house. And yeah, that was just Mum, she'd have a go at everything. Anyway, we all ran up and we were just looking at see what damage it was to the motor scooter, and Mum's laying on the ground and she sort of jumped up and had a go at us saying, like, you're taking care of your motor scooter, what about me? And that's just how she was. She was just, she had a go at everything, which was really good. Later in life, Mum sort of faced challenges with her health and her eyesight, but nothing stopped her from enjoying life with her family and her friends. She still made her way to the bowling club on a Friday night, put a few dollars into the pokies and have a few wines, and which was really good. And but I remember once I was away working in the state, and I think my workmate, I was on a Friday night, and Mum pocket dialed me while she was at the pokies, and we were just sitting there listening to her on speaker, and she kept trying to encourage the other two ladies with her to put another $10 in each to see if they could make some money. But and when I did mention it to her later on in life, she said she denied it and said, "No, that's not me. I've never done that." So over the last few months, Mum spent a lot of time at my place. She absolutely loved being there because of, as what Peter mentioned, the animals, and particularly my dog Jasper. He was just a real loyal kelpie, and she would just sit out the back of the back deck and have a few smokes, and Jasper would just lay beside her, and he'd occasionally just go and grab a ball and drop it in her lap and hope that she would throw it for him so he would fetch it. Yeah, and same that Peter mentioned about the parrots. Yeah, she had Penny, the Rosella, every day. It cost me a fortune in wild bird feed, but I knew that kept her happy. And she'd just sit there all day, or if not, she'd always, and as Alan and Bruce would know, she'd always ask you, is there something I can do? I reckon she'd ask me 10, 20 times a day. Whether I was out chopping wood or working on a car, she would always come up to me and say, is there something I can do? Or in the house. But I reckon, Bruce, we could say that Mum, that's one of her favourite sayings. Probably, like, I'm going to really miss her because, I've probably spent a fair bit of time with her lately, but, she was a lady that had plenty of determination. She had a southern side. She had a patience with the grandkids and the great-grandkids. Most of all, she had plenty of strength, and that's one thing I think I learned off Mum. She was an incredible mother, grandmother and great-grandmother, and we're always lucky to have her in our lives, and we'll carry her love, her stories and her spirit with us always. Also, while I've been given another little thing over for a few thank yous. And Mum's GP, Dr. Charmaine Hammond at the McLeod Street Medical Centre, I think it is. They just treated Mum so wonderful. Like, I would come up and take her doctor's appointments, and Bruce would do the same. And as soon as you walked in there, everyone knew her. She would talk to all the nurses, all the staff, and they just knew her all. And Dr. Hammond was such a great doctor. She just treated Mum so well. And another one I'd like to sort of thank you to is Christine Chen, and the ladies at the Gippsland Eye Centre in Droom. Mum been going there for 7 years, as Peter mentioned about her eye problems. And she would go probably every 6 weeks or so, and get her injections in her eyes. And the same thing as the medical centre. She was just so loved, and people would just talk about her. And even just the other day, we got a letter in Mum's mailbox, and it was from Dr. Chen, just to thank her for being such a wonderful person, and that they'll miss her, and which was sort of really incredible. That doesn't happen very often where you get a letter, when she's gone. And also Mum's neighbour, Anita, next door. She was really terrific. Every day they would have this little thing where they would check on each other, they would open their blinds up, and if they didn't see the blinds open, they would go in and make sure that they were all right. Yeah, which was really good, and Nita was a wonderful neighbour. Who else we got? Oh, there's just so many. Like Mum's long-time friend and partners in crime was Merle and Gail. They looked after Mum, and the three of them used to do a lot together, and that's really good. And do the Friday night drinks at the bowling club, and that's about all. But yeah, she was just a wonderful lady, and we'll miss her greatly. And that's about all I've got to say, folks.
That's beautiful.
No worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. You've got bits, lots and lots crossed out there. Did I steal your thunder?
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Bruce, you, as soon as you saw this little reading, you said, I want to do that for Mum. Come on, you better come up and share it.
Thanks, mate.
As Ian and Hazel and Peter and Noel and Marissa and Mel and Gail and Neville and Deb can testify, Mum was not a big fan of receiving help from others. Mum is adamant she didn't need any assistance whatsoever. On the contrary, all Mum wanted to do was keep helping others, as Ian mentioned. One of the things that she would constantly say is that she wasn't old, she was only 92. And I think this reading sort of is a reflection of that. As we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all you have done for us, for all the times you were by our sides to help and support us, to celebrate our successes, to understand our problems and accept our defeats, or for teaching us by your example the value of hard work, good judgment, courage and integrity. We wonder if we ever thanked you, Mum, for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best, and for all the simple things like laughter, smiles and time we shared. If we have forgotten to show our gratitude for all the things you did, we're thanking you now. And we are hoping you knew all along how much you meant to us. We love you, Mum, and we'll miss you forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Good work. Good work. We put together Dawn's story, if you like, and it's hard to précis 92 years of life into a short time, but well, we haven't made it short. Dawn was born in Benalla on the 2nd of June 1932 to Annie and Lindley, and I had to ask about 3 times to get that spelling correct. How did it sound? To Bart. Bart? Bart. Taylor. Dawn's fourth in a family of 2 sisters, 3 brothers, and Ron, half-brother Ron. And Fran and Ron, you were the last of the generation. There's Florence, Auntie Beth, and Noel, and Lindley, and then Dawn, and Terry, and Francis and Ron. Very sadly, Dawn's dad Lindley died in 1937, and while still only 5 years old, Annie and the family moved from Benalla to the Melbourne suburb of Reservoir, just briefly, before moving on to Rye on the Mornington Peninsula. Now, Dawn completed her schooling at the single-room Rye Primary School. Thanks, Bruce, for that one. Most of Dawn's younger life was spent in the area, and after completing primary school, she left school to look for her employment to supplement the family income. These were really tough times. Dawn found work at a chicken farm, and she was working as a seamstress at a dress shop. She was only a teenager, 16 or 17 we thought at this stage, worked in the dress shop for a number of years. She eventually moved out of home and went to stay with her sister Bet and husband Max at Yallourn. And can you imagine that we once had a thriving manufacturing industry in regional Victoria? Because Dawn found work at a leather glove maker's factory in Moe. She moved back to Melbourne when she was 18 and 19, and while working at Campbell's Cannery in Fairfield, she made friends with Elaine Eldridge, a friendship that was to be lifelong. And then you've got to ask how these two met, Dawn and Noel. Because we're 61 odd years, you know. Dawn and Noel met in Station Street in Fairfield around 1950, when Noel and his lifelong mate Don Allen were riding their motorbikes. The boys stopped to pick up, well, it wouldn't have been a straight up pick up, they would have had to have a bit of chat first. Pick up Dawn and her lifelong friend and future wife of Don, Elaine. Very cool and smooth operators were Noel and Don. And Dawn and Noel and Elaine and Don began as the best of mates and were until death has taken them. It'll continue. The two couples enjoyed going to the pictures and dancing and camping and shooting and fishing together. And Dawn and Noel were married 3 years later at the Methodist Church in Sydney Road, Brunswick. Dawn was 20 and she married Noel. And what a remarkable and wondrous lifetime Dawn and Noel put together. And I thought to myself when I was preparing the service that the four mates who'd been so close, the fabulous four I termed them, were all back together again. And you know, I mentioned Dawn and Noel being married. Dawn always said that her real life started when she met Dad. Her real life started when she met Noel. And 61 years together, 58 married, and 3 years courting. I think it's wonderful. They initially lived with Noel's mum Ethel, and Bruce, you were born while living in Station Street, Fairfield in 1956. Ian, Fairfield in 57, and Alan, born after Noel and Dawn moved to Hatfield. Dawn certainly got involved with the boys' activities, and she was part of setting up the Hadfield Athletics Club. She was a great help. She gave so much. Dawn was looking after 3 energetic young fellas. That's probably a nice way of putting it. 3 boys together growing up. Can you imagine? But she achieved a job as a wire solderer for L.M. Ericsson in Broadmeadows, and there was soldering fine wires on communication component boards. Dawn was exceptionally skilled, and it wasn't long before she was training others and working in quality control. And she worked there for 17 and a half years before retiring on the 29th of April 1982. This was when Dawn and Noel, Mum and Dad, Bruce sent me this, sold their Hadfield home and their Tenby Point Coronella holiday house. And I can remember back on the event of Noel's tribute that there were some great times had there. Great times. They moved to the farm in Upper Maffra West, and it was about that time that both Ian and Bruce said Mum was a disciplinarian. So Dad escaped. There was no wait till your father came home. Get on with it. Boys, this is how it's going to be. Now the boys had grown up over the years, over that 17 and a half years, and when they were going to buy Upper Maffra, there was an ultimatum given to you, Alan, wasn't there? Come up to the farm, Alan. We'll move out on your own. Alan chose move out on your own. Dawn worked, they were living in, as I said, Maffra on the farm, and Dawn worked in sale at the Princeton Convention Centre. She was in the kitchen, then a chicken farm at Hayfield. She's never ever afraid of hard work. She was in her late 50s by this time, and Noel suffered a heart attack. And the decision was made, it was just too much for the farm, sadly, so both Noel and Dawn retired. They were part of the Hayfield Golf Club, the Hayfield Bowls Club. They were out there, these two. It's just amazing how they led their life. They made great mates during their time here. And the farm, the cattle, the sheep, the chicken, the ducks, the horses, were just too much after Noel's heart attack. They sold up and moved to Bunga Street in Bermagui, opposite the golf club. Noel's health wasn't the best. He needed lots of medical appointments, and the decision was made to buy a home in Brett Street in Bairnsdale. And they were both very, very happy to come to Bairnsdale because lots of mates from Maffra and Hayfield had retired to Bairnsdale, so they were in good hands, they were in good company. Dawn and Noel had a wonderful active life in Bermagui. This was a wonderful growing up time for the grandchildren. Would have been fun going up there too for holidays and Christmases. Even the farm, the old Nuffield tractor, up at Burmy fishing and fun, and Grandma would take them down to the beach. The memories are amazing, the memories are wonderful. Wherever they went, they had a wonderful, I've used the word wonderful 3 or 4 times, but it was amazing, it was warm, socially. They were just social people. They wanted people around them, but they were the sort of people that you wanted to be around. At Dawn, the boys said, Mum was very welcoming to all our mates. And Bermagui, I don't know which of you boys said it, but they were the largest couple in Bermagui Country Club Golf and Bowls Club. The largest couple. They were very involved in administration. They just wanted the best for people that they were involved with. Organising barbecues and catering. Part of their social set, as I say, was the fact that they were very warm and comfortable to be around. And they absolutely enjoyed being part of their community. And back to Bairnsdale. They were involved in the Bairnsdale Bowls Club and made great friends there. Sadly, Noel passed away in July 2011. Noel's passing affected Dawn greatly. She missed him with all her heart. But she kept herself busy by being part of the crew of ladies that used to do the catering for the bowls tournament at the Bairnsdale Club. She loved the camaraderie and it kept her busy. She also loved going on the past president's annual trips up to the south coast of New South Wales with her bowling friends. And that's after not having any family in Bairnsdale. People who had retired to Bairnsdale, the folks that she met at the bowling club. She immersed herself. Merle and Gail, and I think Edna, you were part of that too, supported Dawn. Who was it that said, you're not friends, you're even better, your mates? Yeah, it's a depth, isn't it? It's amazing. And Anita, you kept an eye out. You both kept an eye out for each other. The old, the blinds up in the morning, yep, everything's okay. The blinds down, a little bit of further investigation required. Well, Dawn had opened the blinds. She had breakfast. She turned the telly on. She'd taken her medication, had a shower, and for whatever reason she went back to bed and passed gently and peacefully, so sweetly and peacefully, on Tuesday the 28th of January. I think it's a beautiful story. Just an absolutely beautiful story. And I'll finish it off by saying, you girls, there was the Merle, Gale and Dawn drink at the Bowls Club. And Dawn's tipple was a white glass of white wine with a dash of lemonade and plenty of ice blocks. And a Kit Kat. I think that's just amazing. Now it's time to pause for a second. We're going to watch a photo presentation with an Ed Sheeran song, which is just about everyday life and loving somebody, supermarket flowers, and then Tiffany Benke, Grandma, watch over us all. Thank you, Cal.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved. Took the get well soon cars and stuffed animals. Poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. When God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home. Fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up. Folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home. Hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. You got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings and I know that when God took you back, He said hallelujah, you're home.
Got the call today. I didn't want to hear what sister had to say. I prayed, Lord, not today. We just had a Mother's Day call. I'm not sure I said all that I wanted
to say. I thought there'd be another day. I had no plans for this. I think of all we'll miss, but I know just what you'd say. You'd hold me close and tell me that it's gonna be okay. You'd say, I'm still close, I'm not that far. Come on home to my backyard. I can't wait for you to see. Now your grandpa's holding me. Grandma, hold on tight, we're almost there. Keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And Grandma, please take one more call and watch over us all. We all remember growing up, times you spent with every one of us. You went out of your way, made us feel special every day. Now we must carry on and keep the family's memories strong of all you would do, and of course Grandpa too. I hope that we can live and give the way Grandma did. You all know what she'd say. She would hold you close and tell you that it's gonna be okay. She'd say, I'm still close, I'm not that far. Come on home to my backyard. I can't wait for you to see. Grandpa's dancing with me. Grandma, hold on tight, we're almost there. Keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And Grandma, please take one more call and watch over us all. I'm still close, I'm not that far. Come on home to my backyard. I can't wait for you to see. Grandpa's dancing with me. Grandma, hold on tight, we're almost there. Keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And Grandma, please take one more call. And Grandma, please take one more call. And Grandma, please take one more call and watch over us all.
Two things that I noticed in those beautiful memories. One was the photo of Noel without any teeth. They were lost down at Tenby Point, but I think they were found. And the other one is that Dawn had so many different hairstyles throughout those 92 years. And the kids said, Mum didn't like this, Grandma didn't like this one. I think she's beautiful. I think she's beautiful. Sorry, Dawn. Now look, a big get together, it's obviously got to be back at the Bowls Club. Please, when our tribute to Dawn is at an end, make your way around to Grant Street and spend some time and share some more memories. Memories. Amanda and Megan, you're going to come up together or singly, whichever you feel comfortable.
I feel like this is a bit of a stitch up doing it after that, but here we go. Annie Dawn Cornish, you gave the world over 92 years of pure love. For those of you who don't know me, or do know me but don't recognise me, I'm Amanda and this is Megan. And we're lucky enough to call the lady who brought us all together today, Grandma. On the 28th of January, our grandpa got his lady back. Reunited after 13.5 years. I bet you the first thing he said to her was, "About bloody time you joined me. Can I have a cup of love?" Let's face it though, he would have nodded off in his chair before the jug was even boiled. I find true comfort in knowing that they're together again. I really struggled to put words together for today that I felt were enough for Grandma. But over the past week, I've heard people describe her in so many wonderful ways. Words like vibrant, funny, fiercely independent, the life of the party, kind, a true lover, adventurous, and one that sits best with me, special. I don't disagree with any of them. I think I speak on behalf of all of us grandchildren when I say childhood memories are unforgettable because of school holidays spent at Grandma and Grandpa's. From walking up to the treehouse on the hill at the farm in Maffra, listening to Grandma grunt with every step, to spending the days fishing, swimming, prawning, getting fish and chips at the co-op, watching the weigh-ins and exploring the rocks at Bermagui. There was never a day that wasn't filled with fun with Grandma, but more importantly, there was never a day that wasn't filled with love. Grandma was a doer. She was the hardest working retiree I had ever seen. She motivated and encouraged everybody to be the best that they could be. She even motivated me, at 37 weeks pregnant, to do lunges up and down the street at 8 p.m, just so her first great-grandchild was born on Grandpa's birthday. She got her way. Briella was born at 5:11 a.m. on his birthday, and I see his grumpiness in her every day. I'm sure we all know that she was never one to sit still, and if there wasn't any chores to do, she would dance. Dancing was one of her favourite activities. There would be many times that we would turn around and find her dancing to the sound of her own hum. She was a true dancing queen. No music was required. Grandma taught us all so much, but a standout is most definitely how to swing a lawn bowl. I don't think you will meet any other people our age that know how to play indoor bowls like us Cornish kids. Monday nights at the club, taking home the prizes was our jam. We weren't too shabby at winning the odd Friday night club raffle either. Going to the club with Grandma and Grandpa was a weekly event on school holidays, and Grandma made sure that we were well known to all the Birmingham locals. Grandma would often speak of how proud she was of all of her babies. Her 3 boys were her world. Troublesome at times, but they made her the happiest woman alive. Us grandchildren and great-grandchildren were just the cherry on top. She was an amazing mother, and I know that if I can be even half of what she was, I've done a good job. Although our grandma is no longer physically with us, I know that due to her loving nature, she will watch over us till we see out our own days. We have all lost a huge chunk of our souls with her passing, but I know that there won't ever be a day that she doesn't visit our minds. Grandma, you were a classic. You were vintage, iconic, and you're irreplaceable. You were our queen. You'll never be forgotten, and I hope we continue to all make you proud. Make sure you keep Grandpa in his place up there. I love you, and I can't wait to see you again. The masterpiece that was your life will echo in our hearts forever. Oh, I don't think I've got any tears left.
Come on.
Unlike my grandmother, I don't really like talking, so this is a big deal for me to come up. I tend to be the quiet one amongst the Cornishes, so I've written something, just a small thing. I was lucky enough to move out to Bairnsdale and live with my grandparents for a short amount of time, and then live independently from them for a few years. And yeah, it was my privilege that during that time I got to know my grandma, not only just as my grandma, but she became my parent, my friend, my best friend, my confidant. She turned up to my games, my volleyball, my basketball, my hockey, my work functions, my award presentations. She showed me what family was about. She put me before anything else. She was to me, I think people know I'm not the most emotional person, but this sure, everyone is very concerned about me. They thought this was going to be the one that would hit me. So I'm doing quite well to hold it all together, so bear with me. My grandma showed me that no matter how hard times could be, you have to get up every day and live it. She was there to hold my hand whenever I needed comfort and was there to cheer me on. She just showed up. That was who she was. She lived a simple life filled with joy of her family, her friends, and any creature that came before her to pat and to give a treat or to whisper a hello. Time and time again, she would push me to go out and live my life of adventure and see things that she never got to see. The greatest moments I ever seen from my grandma is every time I returned from my trips away. She was always so excited to see photographs, see what knick-knack I'd purchased in some remote Asian country for her. I wanted my grandma to go on her own adventures as well. It was always something that I always tried to push for her, especially after Grandpa died. As you saw earlier, she went up to the snow for the first time. A lady in her 80s who lived so close to the mountains but never gone up there before. So Amanda and I had the privilege to take her up there and rug her up in all my ski gear and play around the day in the snow. Got a parking fine out of it though, that was the only problem. I have so many memories of my grandma that I would cherish for the rest of my life. My grandma loved me and the rest of the family beyond words, and has never failed to remind me or the rest of us that how proud she was. You know, even towards the end, she would make phone calls randomly, some weird times, either wishing us a happy birthday, which was probably a week before or a week after the actual time, or calling up and thinking it was somebody else's birthday, or calling up and my partner Amanda thinking it was Amanda. It happened quite regularly. It was hilarious. Not just recently, it was years. I think this went on for years. It always happened. So yeah, she is somebody who I look up to. I will idol her forever, and I certainly look forward to passing a lot of things she taught to me down to my own children. So thank you.
Well done.
The memories are always there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to offer Dawn's family a time of personal farewell. Because we're such a large group, we'll just allow the family to come forward to Mum, to Grandma and Great-Grandma and say their own quiet goodbye. Thank you, Cal.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your hope will be true.
It's time to say farewell. But very, very much, as Amanda said, to Grandma's physical body. Everything that she was, still is, forever will be. I would love to know in a few years who was the keeper of the boiled fruitcake recipe. Dawn's legacy is in each of you here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In her immediate family, in her close friends, and in all the friends that have turned up to say goodbye. Let Dawn's legacy be happiness. Let it be fun, let it be a smile. No doubt the tears are falling, that's how it should be. Our hearts are broken. But the feeling amongst you all, when we first began our tribute in the 10 minutes before, the warmth, the love, the support, let that be Dawn Cornish's legacy. If you feel that you'd like to, please join with me in the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And let us now commit Dawn's body for cremation, and in doing so we acknowledge that we come into this world with nothing and we depart with nothing. However, the wonder of our time on this earth is that we leave behind warm, enduring memories to mark our years and to sustain those left behind. For those of you who, like Dawn, may memories be your comfort. For those of you who loved her, may you hold a sacred place in your hearts and a knowing smile on your lips. Rest peacefully, Dawny. Well, perhaps not, because Noel's been waiting a while. And our last song, ladies and gentlemen, before you make your way around to the bowling club. And this is what we hope we can imagine, that Dawn's dancing in the sky. Danny and Lizzie, thank you all so much for honouring Dawn and the Cornish family by being here. Thank you all so much.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is the same since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and adventure? Tell me, are you happy? Are you